Blog Talk Radio. Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard. Everybody, chatting with Nat. It's Natalie. It's Natalie Jean. Today we have Elissa Carmona of the band Morrisania Band Project, MBP. Morrisania Band Project, aka MBP, is an award-winning soul collective founded in September 2016. Their mission is to add vibrancy to the Bronx through music, community engagement, and social initiatives. Founder Elissa Carmona is a singer, Air Force veteran, and winner of the 2022 SU-CASA award. With creative energy and loads of talent, MBP delivers the sounds of legendary funk, rock, and soul artists while promoting awareness for issues like gun violence, disaster relief, and sickle cell disease. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
Hello. How are you, Elissa?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Well, the way that I answer things these days is I'm still alive. I'm still alive.
That's what works for all of us.
I'm telling you. You wake up every morning, you're just like, whoa, am I still here?
Right. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for giving me the honor of having you on the show. So, we know that this has been a crazy time, a crazy period in the 21st century. So how have you been doing during this whole pandemic season?
Well, in 2020, most of our live performances were canceled. And so we had to step our game up, and we learned how to live stream. And we did first, it was the 2020 concert series, Quarantine Edition. We had partners, we had funders. Bronx Council on the Arts has been one of our biggest supporters. And so I would say to any artist, go to your arts council. They are there for you. And Bronx Council on the Arts has been very gracious when it comes to funding and commissioning our projects. I got the SU-CASA award that year as well, and it was a residency at a senior center that closed down. Everything shut down. So that's what we did. We learned how to live stream. We bought the right equipment, and, we're pretty good with that.
That's awesome.
There's nothing like a live.
Yeah.
We miss live performances, though.
Amen to that. Let me also thank you for your service, as in first.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. It was real brief, though. If you blinked, you missed me.
It's okay, but you were in it. You were in it. It doesn't matter. You were in it, even if it was like a blip. You were in it. You were in it. So
I think the problem is they put this city girl in Nebraska, so that was a different experience. It was totally different.
You're like, Nebraska?
I'm New York City born and raised, and it wasn't a bad experience. It was just different. But I wasn't making music during that time. I actually left the industry. I left music alone completely for about 20 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
wow.
So I was a dental tech in the Air Force.
Oh, really?
I counted teeth.
All right.
Yeah.
Everything helps. Everything helps. So thank you. Thank you for your service, I guess.
Thank you.
One of the questions I like to ask is this. Now, we know that the past 2 to 3 years have been crazy with the pandemic, the elections, Detroit, now the Ukraine, and tsunamis and everything going on in the world. And obviously, things are all bad things. And you can see that there's a lot of. So, one of the things that I've seen is that during this time, there have always, there's also pros.
I'm sorry, I missed your question.
So, I haven't asked it yet. I haven't asked it.
Oh, I'm so. No, you cut out. I didn't.
So, so there's been pros and cons in everything that's been happening in this world. So, what I have seen as pros is that, you know, there were a lot of family members that were walking outside together, so people took the time to be together. There are people that decided to cut back on work because they found out that they were missing a lot from their family. There's people who took their jobs because they realized that the pandemic might be short and that they need to do more about their passion, not necessarily about money. The pollution level went down as soon as everybody was off the streets. So the animals, Mother Nature, they were happy that we were gone, tropical springs, and we were coming back. And then we have artists who decided to rebrand, not to create more, some created some these albums during the pandemic. Decided to be more effective players. Some decided to do something different. So there was a lot of self-introspection. So during this time, did you take time to have some self-introspection, to think about your career, the type of artist that you decided to do the same? What did you think about it?
I did take time. Everything happened so quickly. I'm in New York City, and our city officially closed down on March 13th. That's when businesses, officially said this is our last day, and we were doing a gig that day with a group of other bands, and all of us had heard the word coronavirus, and so we were scared. Many of us were wearing masks for the first time, and then the following week, and this was Friday, that Monday, everything closed. My senior center residency closed. All the senior centers in New York City closed. I'm getting emails and text messages and phone calls. We're going to have to postpone this gig. I was scheduled myself to fly out to New Orleans. I sometimes travel and work with, put together short-term projects in other places. And I had things booked. And it dried up, and so at the same time, I was experiencing a family situation. We lost a family member to COVID, and I kind of used music as a way to not heal necessarily, but cope. My band and I, we were working remotely, and trying out things like Zoom, which I was familiar with Zoom, but not for concerts and things.
Right.
And I learned that you cannot hold rehearsal on Zoom. We've tried, trust me. But we wrote a song during that time, and it was called Put On Your Armor. And we're not a Christian band, but it had an inspirational message, and it was based on scripture. And it was for a contest that we did not win, but it felt good to have something to do. And we kind of put our heart and soul on this project, working remotely, just putting all our pieces together. And the first time we were able to get together in person, I believe that was June 12th. And we had a virtual concert scheduled. And it was so emotional, at least for me, that seeing my band for the first time in months and not knowing, what the outcome of any of this was going to be. It was in the words of that song. I didn't share that song with you today because it's still now a work in progress. But that song just took me to everything that was happening. There was so much civil unrest, George Floyd, Breonna, everything that was happening all at once, along with the pandemic. And I felt like that time was reflective. That period, that's where my thoughts were with the music.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things happened during that period.
Yeah.
You have so much time to decide what your future is going to be. So,
I'm so sorry, I didn't hear you.
so I said I completely get that. That during a period of a year where you have a lot of downtime, you have a lot of time to be able to think about how you want your music to go and think about all the things that you've lost, music opportunities that everything would rebound. Now, what was it about the music industry that made you want to start this band, Morrisania Band Project?
Morrisania, number one, is a neighborhood in the South Bronx. I always tell people, but don't tell anybody, it's the neighborhood where hip hop started.
Okay.
And it is a very cultural, it's a musical, it's cultural for its music. In the 50s and 60s, you had a lot of doo-wop bands and, of course, hip hop, Latin jazz and salsa. While they didn't start here, it was, heavily popularized here. So this is a musical neighborhood that many people are not aware of. At the time that I started the band, there was never a plan to start a band. It was literally I wanted to be able to make music in my community. At the time, I was traveling all the way to Lower Manhattan just to go to vocal classes, paying a boatload of money, and didn't have it like that. And I figured this should be in my neighborhood. And so I did some grants to Bronx Council on the Arts and won that year. That was 2016. And it was originally for a 12-week project. And we were going to do a performance, and we did, and then we just stuck together and just kept doing it. People came, people went, and we're still here. And so I got the idea for the band once people began to hire us because we were doing music. I do a lot of covers. Covers, have been paid the bills, been our bread and butter, but also it's what people wanted to hear. So I do what I call feel-good music that people can relate to. And I also have a background in social work and case management, so I was able to get into these agencies that are doing community-based, programming. It could be for sickle cell disease or, gun violence, all causes that I believe in and that affects me personally. But I have a degree in social work, so I was able to use my name and title, so to speak, to get in the door, and as well as write my own grants, which also that it was a big help. I wasn't just dependent on a venue to pay me. And that's when the idea of, hey, I need to make this into something, that's what started. My band is actually here tonight. We're setting up for rehearsals. Hey, Wasi, my drummer just walked in. We're setting up to rehearse for a fundraiser that we have coming up for children who live with autism. And so that was the way that those things and these continuous bookings for these cause-related issues was what made me say, hey, we can do something with this.
That's fantastic. Now, I know that you do a lot of covers, but you write your own music too, right?
We do. We don't get to it as much as we'd like to. We have a single that we would like to complete and or release, hopefully by summer. It's called Get Out My Face. But we don't get to do it together as often as we like to because we're continuously being booked for, different venues, different occasions. So we may say, let's get together next week and work on our song. And by that time, we have 2 bookings to rehearse for, and that takes, the place of us putting together. So it's definitely on the make. It's on the horizon, and we do it, but not as much as we'd like to.
Okay. So that being said, when you are performing, or even writing music or doing cover songs, how important is authenticity to you?
Very important. When I do covers, I am translating something that was already done, but it's important to me to put my spin on it, to make the song mine, so to speak. And so it might be an Aretha song I'm covering, Mary J. Blige or whatever, but you're going to get Elissa at the same time. You're going to recognize the song, and it's going to be something that you love, but you're going to see something that shows why that song is so crucial to me. So it's very important to me. I don't need to reinvent the wheel. Mary J. Blige already did that. She laid it down. I don't need to come out and do what she does. I'm not looking to make it better. She's the queen of hip hop soul, but I am looking to make my mark. I also talk a lot, and so one song, I might take it in a direction that you didn't see coming, because I'm also telling a story during the course of me doing this song. Like, before I do love songs, I give a disclaimer. Who's heard of this bullshit called love, or something to that effect.
Awesome. So I'm going to play Rock Steady.
Oh, yes. Okay. We can talk about that.
All right. Let's talk about Rock Steady. How did you go about doing this cover of Rock Steady? I know this song well. I really love it.
That is from our Aretha tribute. It's called the tribute. The tour was called Natural Woman, a celebration, a Queen of Soul celebration, and it was funded by Bronx Council on the Arts and the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs. We were commissioned to do 5 concerts in 2019, 5 free concerts for the community. We did something close to 18 off of this, off of the Aretha tribute. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. All right. Well, let me play it.
I gotta give my disclaimer. This is the song that made me famous in my own mind. I'm a celebrity in my own mind because of this song.
Well, that's beautiful, and you are a celebrity. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it.
Okay.
had me grooving. What are
Thank
they?
you. That's actually, we did a video shoot. We did that during COVID. We did it on I think Halloween, October 31st, and we just did a whole day of it. You see us in our masks. The video is on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. But we had a lot of fun with it. It was a tribute to, one, it's a tribute to Aretha, but we also, the video was a tribute to what she did with the Blues Brothers when she was behind the counter. So we were like acting and everything. And most people didn't realize that the videos, people lip sync. Like we recorded our audios ahead of time. And they were like really impressed. That video was a lot of fun. It took all day though.
Awesome. And so you have an upcoming tribute concert at Savannah, which is on April 29th, right? From 10 to
Yes. Yes, we will be in Harlem April 29th from 10 p.m. to midnight. We're a regular there at Savannah, but this one is going to be special because I have been working with my band on a 90s tribute, a tribute to 90s soul singers.
Oh, cool.
So it kind of tells my life story and my upbringing. I was raised in the 80s and I came of age in the 90s. And so people like Mary, of course, people like Erykah Badu, Aaliyah, and Lauryn Hill. And so we're going to be, debuting some of those covers as well. And I'll be also, of course, telling my story. This is where I was when this song came out.
Awesome. How long have you been doing music?
I've been singing since I was 4. I've been in church choirs since I was 5, a lead singer at the age of 7, and then I went to music and art high school with Fame. I'm gonna live. I went to that school. And then I left it alone, as I said earlier. I left music completely alone for 20 years because this is why, I don't know, change the subject only a little bit. Representation is very important. It's very important. And growing up, I grew up in the hood. I didn't see singers. I'm a brown woman. I'm African American / Afro Latina, and I have brown skin, dark brown skin. I didn't see me growing up. I wasn't encouraged to pursue a career in singing. I was told singers come a dime a dozen. And I don't, there's no, fault or any against my upbringing because that was the advice that people felt was the best. There's tons of people who can sing and play an instrument that don't make it. And so it's why it's really important to see that. I didn't see those things, and so I never saw my place. It took, I won't call it tragedy, but I will say heartbreak. And I will also, take it in a different direction again. Mental health is real. It's very real. And in 2012, music literally saved me. I just graduated with my master's degree, but I left the field. I left corporate. It was just too much bureaucracy and, people's lives need to be saved, and we over here fighting over printer toner and, dumb shit. And so I left and didn't even have a plan of action. On a whim, I went to a vocal class. I was with my daughter who she self-taught on guitar. So she was going to replace her strings at a music store in Lower Manhattan. And on a whim, I just saw a sign that said, "We give lessons." So I said, "You give vocal lessons?" And they said, "Yeah." I had no job at this time. I had no money coming in. And I paid $60 for this lesson. And it was such a lifesaver. It was like someone threw a lifeline to me, literally. And that was the first time I had sang in years in front of anyone. And it was his vocal coach. I don't know much about her, but I'll shout her out just the same. She was a Polish-American lady. Her name was Bogey. And she was pregnant at the time. Much love to Bogey. Because she said to me, "There's not much damage to your voice." I thought there was so much damage. I smoked cigarettes and, hadn't been singing publicly. And she told me, set a goal to find somewhere to sing before the end of this year. Before the end of this year, be on a stage somewhere singing. And you know, I did that, and I didn't even realize it until I was on the stage, December 17th, 2012. I was singing Baby It's Cold Outside, and I was singing it with two women. They were horsing me. And so I sang my little heart out, and they were just singing hard, and, you know, baby, it's cold outside. I'm just, you know, a little timid, and it dawned on me at that moment, I'm doing just what Bogey said, and I didn't even try. I didn't even look for this. And that saved me. And so I kept at it. I was able to use my other skills in grant writing. My degree is in social work and nonprofit management. And so I learned a lot about admin, fundraising, grassroots fundraising. And so at this same agency that allowed me to sing on their stage, they gave me an opportunity to write their grants. And, you know, I'm sure you know how it is. Like when you graduate from a thing, you don't have the experience that you need. This agency took a chance on me. And I wrote grants that year I wrote grants in 2015 that got us to Carnegie Hall. So I performed at Carnegie Hall twice in 2015, as well as got 30 to 50 people on that stage with me through grants that I wrote. So, you know, that showed me that there is a future. And so what I try to be now is representation to other young people coming up that you can do this, you can pursue this, that, you know, there are ways. It might not just be outright singing. You might do community organizing along with singing. It might be, you know, you're a makeup artist, but you're getting your shot to sing as well. That's why representation is so, you know, getting back to the original point. Seeing me would have gone a long way with me coming to music sooner. And so I try to be that visibility to other little girls, not just brown girls, and, you know, boys too, or, you know, just people in general.
Yep. Very important.
Sorry, I said a mouthful. I'm so sorry. You're supposed to be asking me questions. I'm my bad.
That's okay. That's okay. This is all about you. What do you love most about being an artist?
The actual performance part. I have anxiety, and I'm pretty open with that. I, you know, go to my therapist. You know, mental health is real, but for some reason, all self-doubt. When I'm standing on the stage, I'm scared up until the point that it's time to open my mouth and sing my song. And at that point in time, I'm a warrior. At that point, the actual performance is what gets me. The crowd involvement. I talk a lot of shit during my performances, so I might call you out, Mr. You in a yellow shirt, or, you know, or what have you. And that part is what thrills me the most. I missed that during COVID. Doing the live stream shows, they were great, and I love my band. But there's nothing like a live show where you have back and forth, you know. Mm-hmm. So it's the performance that I live for.
I agree with you. I'm going to play your cover, Tell Me Something. Tell me about that.
Tell Me Something Good. That is a Chaka Khan cover. Chaka Khan. We do a tribute to Chaka Khan as well. It is a part of our Queens and Divas tribute, in which I tribute some of the leading ladies that I grew up on, including Grace Jones, Randy Crawford, Tina Turner, who have I said throughout this broadcast, Mary J. Blige, and of course, Chaka Khan.
All right, let me play. You ain't got no
me something good. Tell me that you love me, yeah. Tell me something good. Tell me that you like it, yeah. Tell me something good. Tell me that you love me, yeah. Tell me something good. Tell me that you like it, yeah. Tell me something good.
Another great
That was a lot of fun too. We filmed that one the same day, I don't know if anyone can actually see the video, but you can find it on if you go to our Instagram and in the links in our bio, we have a link to that video where you see my drummer being all goofy, making faces and all of that. Every place I go to see the video, they say he's crazy. But we had a lot of fun filming that video.
Now, tell me about your upcoming concert series beginning May 7th.
May 7th, yes. Let me check that date while we're speaking. I think the date got changed. But we will be starting the 2022 Festival of Soul. It is through submissions and grant funding by the city to do our annual summer concert series. And we always propose something like maybe 6 concerts, and at the end of it all, we do something closer to 20. And so, originally, when we first spoke, I think the date for that concert was May 7th. It was moved to May 6th. That is a Mother's Day event, and we will be partnering with our longtime friends, Save Our Streets Bronx. They are on the forefront of community safety and combating gun violence. We'll be at Charlton Garden in the Bronx. That's on East 164th Street and Hilton White Way. These concerts are free. They're typically done in city parks, plazas, community gardens, where they are accessible to the people. Yeah, so that's the first. That's the first one we'll be doing. But sorry.
No, go ahead.
By following us on Instagram, you'll always get the latest update on where we'll be next.
Awesome. Now I'm going to play, if I can find it here, Don't Wanna Fight.
This is an original.
Right.
I was feeling a little bluesy with it. And so this is my band behind me. It's me, my Elissa Carmona on lead vocals, Wasi Moody on drums, Greg Daffin on bass, and Kevin Bell on keyboard. This one has Rich Thompson on guitar as well.
And so, why did you write bluesy?
Sometimes I feel a little rock, sometimes I feel jazzy. For this feel, I don't know. I just had this thought in my mind on how I had the vocals in my head. The only thing that I knew was the chorus, which is Don't Wanna Fight. And I felt blues. I can't explain it. And you tell me what you think once you hear it.
Well, let me play.
I don't wanna fight. I just wanna love you, baby. We've been down this road, and we've seen this thing crash. Don't wanna fight. I wanna love you. So before we take off, take your foot off the gas. That intro. What That was work. You ever seen a drummer have that much?
Great.
That was at a live concert at Caffeine Underground in Brooklyn. Oh, when was that? That was before the pandemic hit. So that was January before the pandemic. Shout out to Caffeine Underground. That was a lot of fun.
What are things you wish you had known before you got?
I wish I had known that there was a spot for me, that there was a place. As I said, representation matters. When I was growing up, I didn't see any singers around me. At least no one who said, hey, I'm a singer, or, this is my identity. So I thought it was a pipe dream. I thought that, I was, wishing for something that couldn't happen. So I wish someone had told me it can happen. You may have to use a combination of skills. I'm a band leader. I'm a lady boss. And my band is all male. And they're all taller than me. I'm pretty short. I'm 5'4". But they listen to my hairbrain schemes. And, I was always the girl with the ideas that became the woman with the ideas. And I was always scared to put them into action because it sounds dumb or nobody's going to listen because I didn't have that representation. So I wish someone had told me before, there's a spot for you, Lisa. You can do this.
Right. And number 2. You still there?
Hello. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, and number 2?
Number 2, what's the second part of what I wish I knew?
Yes.
I wish I knew how challenging this work is. I just like to perform. I want you to plug in my mic and give me my mic. The marketing part, the promotion, those are the things that I'm still learning. We were selected to be a part of this accelerator program with Communitas Ventures. And so I've been going to weekly classes where they're teaching us about marketing and branding and all of these various things that they're good and they're good for me to know, and I need to know this. But it's also overwhelming at the same time when sometimes I just want to be a singer.
All right. And number 3.
There's a 3? Let me think. Well, sometimes I don't always know what to say, and I tend to overthink things. As I said, I have anxiety. But I realized at the end of the show, you did it. And whatever mistakes you made, you can get some do-overs. You don't have to be stuck there. That doesn't define you. If my voice cracks on a song, which it can do, as a professional that has been classically trained, we all have our moments. But it doesn't define you. You can rise from that.
That's very true. Well, thank you so much, Elissa, for being on Chatting with Nat. It was a pleasure launching for you. And I hope that you have a continue. I wish you much continued success on your musical journey. I'm sure there's more that you'll be doing.
Thank you so much. And shout out to my mom and pops, Rob and Adrian. This is y'all's daughter. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. All right, everybody. This is Chatting with Nat with Elissa Carmona from the brand Morrisania Band Project MBP. You can find them on Instagram, on Facebook, YouTube, or you can just Google them. Until next time on Chatting with Nat. Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard.